Northern New England's trusted news source, ABC6 News at Noon.
Good afternoon. We have breaking news from Warwick this afternoon. Warwick Schools has counselors available at the Lippett Elementary today after a student there threatened to shoot up the school over the weekend. Working with the principal, police investigated a chat and concluded that while it was disturbing, it was not credible. School is in session at Lippett today. And developing news from Connecticut as well. 4 Rhode Islanders are dead, killed in a crash just over the border. A 5th person is seriously injured. ABC6 News reporter Yanni Trigelis is live in the newsroom with more from state police investigating this accident. Yanni?
Yeah, Doreen, everyone in the car was from Rhode Island, and 4 of the passengers in the car, 21 years old, along with one 18-year-old driver. A Memorial Day holiday turned tragedy for 4 Rhode Island families after a single car crash in Thompson, Connecticut killed 4 Providence residents and seriously injured 1 more. State police now investigating what caused this.
What brought up exactly from that crash? What led up to that from the 24 hours prior to leading right up to, were there any witnesses?
State police say the driver, 18-year-old Johan Santana of Providence, was traveling southbound on Quadic Town Road when he lost control of the car and hit a tree. Santana pronounced dead at the scene. Accident reconstruction squads now mapping around the scene.
Be able to examine angles of the roadway, whether there was a curve that may have factored into this. They'll be able to look into every aspect relative to what could have been a contributing factor for the crash.
3 of the passengers, Jesslyn Perez, Erica Perez, and Lysandra Terrero Almonte, were also killed in the crash. And Rainiel Alfonso Lopez was taken to Rhode Island Hospital, where he's currently in critical condition. According to state police, nobody in the car was wearing a seatbelt. The accident was one of 5 fatal crashes over the holiday weekend in Connecticut. The unofficial start for summer, a dangerous holiday weekend for police, who are urging all drivers to be careful on the roadways.
Please make responsible choices. The smallest detail, buckle up, slow down, move over, ditch those distractions.
And Connecticut State Police are still investigating what caused this fatal accident. In the newsroom, Yanni Trigelis, ABC6 News.
All right, Yanni, thank you. And a Westerly man is accused of driving his SUV into a group of motorcyclists in Northfield, Mass. He's due in court today. 32-year-old Ryan O'Farrell is facing more than a dozen charges, including 7 counts of operating under the influence of drugs, causing serious bodily injury. 8 people were injured in this crash. 2 of them are in serious condition. And now to the weather and our changing day, starting out humid and warm. Chelsea is in the Weather Center with more. Hi, Chelsea.
Hey, Doreen. Yeah, it's a very interesting day as we've already seen our highest temperatures of the day happening this morning. And as the day progresses, we're going to start to see these temperatures dropping. Right now, we're sitting at 82 degrees still in Providence. It is warm. It is muggy outside with dew points in the 60s, but that wind has shifted. This morning, we had a southwest wind, which is a warm and muggy wind direction, and now that wind is starting to come in from the northeast. It's gusting up to about 30 miles per hour out towards the Cape, and spots here in Providence around 25 miles per hour. And that northeast wind is going to bring in cooler temperatures. You can see very clearly some much cooler weather in Boston and Plymouth, down into the low 60s right now. 70 in New Bedford, 70 in Taunton, still hanging on to 80s in spots like Providence, Newport, and Westerly. But gradually over the course of the afternoon, these temperatures are going to continue to dip. Eventually by late afternoon, we're in the 60s and low 70s, and overnight we're going to dip down into the 50s. Satellite radar image is quiet for now. We're still seeing sunshine. You're going to end up with some clouds passing through in the afternoon, and perhaps a few isolated showers or even a rumble of thunder possible as this cold front from the northeast of us moves backwards into the area. But for the most part, mixed sun and clouds for the remainder of the afternoon. Just certainly seeing that downward trend in temperatures. I'll let you know how cool it gets as we head into the coming days in just a few minutes. Doreen?
All right, Chelsea, thanks. Now to our continuing coverage of the Texas school massacre. In Rhode Island, Governor Dan McKee expected to announce a new school safety initiative today. The governor's office says he'll be joined by Education Commissioner Angelica Infante Green and Rhode Island State Police Superintendent Colonel Darnell Weaver to outline a partnership with superintendents. It aims to identify any school safety issues and address them with repairs and upgrades in the aftermath of the Uvalde school shooting. And today, the first of the 21 victims of that shooting is being laid to rest as we learn more about the law enforcement response. And questions are intensifying about why it took so long for first responders to confront the shooter. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
It should have been a celebratory first week of summer break for Robb Elementary School students. Instead, the first of their teachers and classmates are being laid to rest, including Amarie Jo Garza, who tried calling 911 when she was killed, according to surviving students.
There's a body in there. There was a life that was lost in there that meant something to a mother, to a grandmother, to an uncle, to an aunt. And it's heartbreaking.
This as we learn more about the timeline of this massacre. Video obtained by ABC News shows police rescuing children after breaking a window, then pulling them out.
Somebody jump out the window.
Oh, the kids. They're getting the kids out.
The footage also captures audio of a dispatcher relaying information to officers from a 911 operator of what they were hearing from children inside the classroom that a gunman had entered.
We do have a child on row 12. Are we able to, is there anybody inside of the building? Child is advising he is in the room full of victims at this moment.
An ABC News analysis of the video shows that was at approximately 12:13, about 40 minutes after the gunman entered the school.
8 to 9 children.
Again at 12:16, she's called back and said there was 8 to 9 students alive.
The shooter was inside the school for 77 minutes. Texas authorities say the school district police chief wrongly believed the situation was no longer an active shooter and had ordered tactical teams not to enter the classroom while the children desperately called 911 for help. The rampage finally stopping when sources say federal agents decided to go in and fatally shoot the gunman. Now the Justice Department is reviewing law enforcement's response. This week alone, funerals are planned for 11 children and teacher Irma Garcia, and the services will continue into mid-June. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
And in our schools now, the superintendent of Warwick Schools is recommending the principal of Lyman Elementary be fired. That principal, Ronald Celio, was placed on leave April 8th after allegedly restraining a student, which led to an investigation. And now the superintendent is calling on the Warwick School Committee to fire the principal. The superintendent also says other interim leaders at the school will remain in their roles for now. And Providence schools are back to masks optional starting today. A mask requirement was re-implemented less than 2 weeks ago on May 18th. School officials tell us KN95 masks are available to those who want one. The change comes because the CDC moved Providence County back to medium risk on its map and because of a decrease in student and staff case rates. And some of today's other headlines, the fight over abortion rights continues today on Smith Hill. The Senate Judiciary Committee will hear a series of bills on both ends of the issue. One bill will allow abortion coverage for people on Medicaid and state workers. On the other side, Republican Senator Jessica De La Cruz has introduced a bill that would prohibit abortions after 20 weeks of pregnancy. Another bill introduced by De La Cruz would require doctors and hospitals to ensure the survival of children who are born during an abortion. That bill is also supported by Senate President Dominic Ruggiero. And the Newport Cliffwalk Commission will provide an update on the damage at Narragansett Ave and Webster Street today. At last update, the collapsed portion of the walk could be closed through the summer. A section of the walk fell into the ocean in March, so there are detours in place, although the city says the majority of the 3.5-mile walk is open. Still to come here at noon, after 2 recent mass shootings in America, the latest from Washington on gun control. Plus, the president meets with the Fed today talking inflation and interest rates. And later, meet our energetic pup looking for a new home in this week's Pick of the Litter. In political news today, the nationwide discussion on gun control. A bipartisan group of lawmakers are continuing negotiations today on Zoom over how to best respond to the recent string of deadly mass shootings. ABC's Ika Jachi reports.
A group of Senate Democrats and Republicans are meeting today on Zoom to continue negotiations on passing new gun laws in America. The renewed talks come after a deadly month of shootings, most notably the Buffalo supermarket shooting, where an allegedly racist gunman drove several hours to shoot and kill 10 black people, and the Uvalde Elementary School massacre that claimed the lives of 21 people, including 19 children.
The most important thing we could do is just show that progress is possible and that the sky doesn't fall for Republicans if they support some of these common sense measures.
Some areas of focus and possible agreement among the group include expanding background checks on gun sales, which has been voted down in Congress multiple times. Red flag warnings, which would prevent someone from possessing a firearm if they have certain histories of concerning behavior. Also discussed funding for more mental health resources. Some Republicans, like Illinois Congressman Adam Kinzinger, an AR-15 owner, are ready to increase the age limit to purchase a firearm from 18.
I think that raising the age of gun purchase to 21 is a no-brainer.
But one gun owner who attended the recent NRA convention in Houston says while she's heartbroken over the mass shootings, she doesn't think any new laws could prevent them.
It's unnecessary and it's uncalled for, but we will never be able to stop it.
President Biden, following his trip to Uvalde, Texas, is calling on rational Republicans to act and pass common sense gun laws.
There's a recognition in their part that they can't continue like this.
And in Canada, where they've already banned 1,500 assault-style weapons, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announcing legislation that would prevent the purchase, sale, or transfer of handguns anywhere in Canada. Trudeau going on to say they're capping the market for handguns. Ika Jachi, ABC News, Washington.
Well, coming up, Biden's big meeting this afternoon on the economy and battling back against inflation. Plus the latest on the investigation into the leak of a Supreme Court draft opinion. That's next. Checking national headlines now, President Joe Biden is meeting with Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell today. And a White House official says the two will focus on inflation. In an op-ed for the Wall Street Journal Monday, President Joe Biden says the U.S. economy is in recovery mode. Biden says the economy can move to stable if the right policies are put into place. But Americans are facing pain at the pump and soaring grocery prices, too. Supreme Court officials are ramping up their investigation of a leaked draft opinion that would overturn Roe v. Wade. They are now asking law clerks to provide phone records and sign affidavits in their search for the source of the leak. That's according to sources familiar with the efforts. Chief Justice John Roberts called the leak absolutely appalling. And jurors are back deliberating in the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard defamation trial. They heard more than 100 hours of testimony over the last 6 weeks. Depp is suing his ex-wife for $50 million. He says her 2018 op-ed about being a public figure representing domestic violence hurt his reputation. Heard is countersuing for $100 million. She says calling her claims false hurt her career and defamed her.
And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Chelsea Priest.
Yesterday was obviously a beautiful, sunny, warm day here in southern New England, and we still have those warm temperatures in spots right now. We're sitting in the 80s still in Providence, 85 in Newport, 84 in Westerly. But what's happening is the wind direction has shifted. It is only 60 degrees in Boston, dropping nearly 20 degrees in temperatures over the course of the morning, really over the course of an hour once that wind started to shift and the cooler temperatures started to move in. And that's going to be the case. That cool air is going to continue to push westward as a backdoor cold front is working through, and that backdoor cold front coming through basically an opposite direction of how a lot of our weather typically moves from west to east. This one's coming in east to west, and you're starting to see that breeze from the northeast impacting the area. 10 to 15 mile per hour sustained winds, some gusts coming in over 20 miles per hour in spots, and it's that northeasterly wind direction that's continuing to drop those temperatures. Yesterday, all of us were so warm, a significant drop in temperatures from just 24 hours ago for eastern Mass, and this purple shading, that 20-degree drop, will be pushing farther westward over the course of the next couple of hours, and eventually all of us will be in that range as we head through the afternoon. So if you're enjoying the heat and humidity, you don't have much longer to enjoy it for. Those dew points have dropped significantly on top of the temperatures, so really comfortable air starting to move in for far eastern Mass. Still seeing dew points for a lot of southwest Rhode Island in the 60s, still quite muggy, but again, all of that coming to an end as that breeze continues to bring in cooler, more comfortable weather. Satellite radar image will show you exactly what I'm talking about when we're talking about this backdoor cold front. This line of clouds and showers sitting just up to our northeast, gradually dipping south over the course of the remainder of the afternoon, and continuing to bring in a few passing clouds at times, and perhaps even a few isolated showers or rumbles of thunder as we head into the evening. Now that line will continue to impact us. We have some more clouds and showers off to our west, and that will be inching closer as we head through the coming days. So not only do we have cooler temperatures moving in, we also have some unsettled weather moving in the coming days. I do want to quickly update you on the tropics. Hurricane season begins tomorrow. We are looking at an area over the Yucatan Peninsula that has a 60% chance of development in the next 5 days. Our first named storm this season would be Alex. It's not named yet, but that's the A name that we'll be looking out for as hurricane season begins tomorrow. Futurecast here in southern New England shows you some passing clouds, and again, a few isolated showers or rumbles of thunder possible into the evening hours. Overnight, it's hit or miss. It's not a high chance of seeing the rain, but some of us will see a few isolated showers. Tomorrow, a lot of clouds to start the day into the afternoon, some scattered showers. Again, some rumbles of thunder possible. That continues overnight. Thursday, it looks like we'll get a little break from rain showers, and then into Friday, there's actually more rain that'll be impacting the area. So those temperatures dropping today. It was a warm and muggy start to the day. The winds are shifting, temperatures are cooling. If you're getting out on the water, keep in mind that breeze is starting to pick up out of the northeast. Some gusts around 20 knots this afternoon. Our high tide was at 9:17. Our low tide going to be at 2:17 this afternoon. A few scattered showers and rumbles of thunder possible this evening. Temps continue to dip down into the 50s. And then tomorrow, it's a cooler day, a mostly cloudy day. It looks like we'll be dry in the morning, but some afternoon showers and some rumbles of thunder will be possible. 7-day shows the warm morning coming to an end. The temperatures will be dropping, and the rest of the 7 days much cooler. A good chance of some rain on Friday. The weekend right now is looking good with temps in the low to mid 70s. Doreen?
All right, Chelsea, thanks. Well, calling all active households, Buddy, this week's pick of the litter is looking for a family to take him on adventures. Meet him next.
Pick of the litter, brought to you by Moriarty's Invisible Fence.
Welcome back. It's Tuesday. That means it's time for Pick of the Litter. We have a really sweet, he's a puppy here with us today. He's only 7 months old, right?
He's a 7-month-old young gentleman. He's a neutered male.
Okay.
And he is almost your typical COVID puppy. This guy was left with a neighbor when his owners went on vacation or went on a trip. They never claimed him back, so he was abandoned once. Then we tried to find the owners, couldn't, so he ended up with us. He's got plenty of energy. We think he's a shepherd mix.
Sure.
He's a beautiful guy. Kind of looks like a fox.
He does, right? He has that kind of coloring with his pointy ears. But he's really sweet. This is Buddy, by the way. I don't even think we said his name, but Buddy.
This is Buddy. So Buddy's got plenty of energy just because of his suspected breeding. We don't think he's a great mix for a family with cats.
Okay.
We know he gets a little bit possessive of his toys. We think that's an indication that he's under-socialized, so he needs someone who's got some time to work with him.
Okay.
But he is a handsome guy, and he's sweet. He's pretty good on a leash, although he's a little ADD still because he's a puppy.
He's a baby. It's okay.
But Caitlin does a great job with him, and he is a fan favorite.
And you know some of his commands already. We were just doing paw and sit and all of that. So he's going to be a really good fit in the perfect home. Did we say I was petting Buddy? What about kids? What do we think?
We think because of his energy, it's got to be 12 and up.
Okay.
I want someone that has enough size to deal with getting jumped on by a puppy.
He's going to be a bigger. He's going to be a bigger boy.
Of
course.
Here he is. Here he is.
There's Buddy.
So this is
he
Buddy.
does know his sit and his paw as well. He's
Off.
excited to
Good
be
boy.
on TV, that's for sure. All right, we need to find Buddy the perfect home. If you are interested in him, you can contact the RSPCA at 401-438-8150. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right, and when we come back, we'll take one more look at that afternoon forecast. Stay with us. All right, what a weird day today, Chelsea.
I know.
Starting out so warm and humid.
Yeah, our temperatures topped out in the 80s, but they have topped out. It happened through the morning hours. Breeze is starting to come in from the northeast. Boston is sitting at 60 degrees right now.
Wow.
It's now 82 in Providence, but I am expecting the temperatures to continue to cool through the afternoon. It's a bit breezy as well. A few scattered showers or rumbles of thunder possible overnight. And again, tomorrow afternoon and evening, you're just noticing the rest of the 7 days significantly cooler. Tomorrow, especially, highs only in the mid-60s. Low 70s on Thursday, a little break from the rain, but unsettled again on Friday with temperatures around 70 degrees. Right now, as of right now, the weekend looks okay. First weekend of June. Temps in the low to mid 70s, which average high is 73 degrees. The temperatures that we've had have been way above average. So a little bit back to normal for the next couple of days.
My goodness,
Yeah.
though, after the summer-like temperatures we had yesterday,
I know.
it'll feel really nice this week. All right, Chelsea, thank you. And thank you for joining us for the news at noon. The news continues 1 to 4. Have a great day, everybody.